Hi, welcome back to Basement Backgammon. In this episode, we're going to be looking at problem 83 in Bill Robertie's 501 Essential Backgammon Problem Series. In this problem, black is to play a 4-3. Black is on the bar. You notice they have one checker back on 24. The cube is centered, so that's not an issue. White has a point on 22. What do we do with 4-3? I'll give you 10 seconds to decide. Hit the pause button if you need more time. Okay, and we're back. So in this particular play, in this part of the book, is something that hasn't happened before in any one of our problems. Obviously, 3 is forced. We have to play bar to 22. However, Robertie does not give an answer as to what he would do with the 4, which is very frustrating. But let me read to you what he says, and then we will go to XG to figure out what to do with the 4. I'm going to guess on camera live, and then we'll see if I'm right. So, problem 83, black on bar to play 4-3. In problem 83, black has to enter from the bar with his 3, playing bar 22. Then he can consider slotting the bar point with his 4 by playing 11 to 7. Is this the right play? No. There are many situations where slotting isn't a good idea. In general, you don't want to slot when your back checkers are split. And the reason is that if your opponent misses your slotted checker, he may hit one of the loose checkers in his home board. When you're trying to enter from the bar, you'll have trouble covering your slot. Remember that if you take the risk of slotting, you need to be able to cover your slot when you're missed. So what Robertie's saying here is that the obvious play that people want to do here is build an additional prime, an additional slot here to make a 4 prime and make it harder for these runners to get out. That totally makes sense, except what he's saying here is that if he misses the 4, he can still hit with a 5 or some larger number like an 8 or a 10, and he's likely to hit loose here because it's going to be hard to cover my slotted number on the next roll. It's going to be hard for me to come in and cover the slot. I would need a 1-6, 3-6, or a 5-6 in order to do that. And that gives white additional time to hit this slotted checker. So you're really kind of giving up this checker. So my feeling about this, since you have to leave something somewhere, you could either do this, leave an additional blot behind white, and allow white to try to hit loose here, but this slot is in no danger. However, the problem with that play, in my opinion, is that putting checkers in behind makes you lose ammunition behind the point here. So my feeling is this is the right 4, and if white ends up hitting, at least we have a chance of covering the anchor. However, the problem with that play is that I need a 3, 5, or 6 to cover this correctly, either here, here, or here, or something with a 2. So if I get hit, assuming I get hit and white can't make a point in here, I'm going to have to come in with a 5-2, or a 3-2, or a 3-3, or a 3-6, or a 3-5, or something, or a 1, and any of those number combinations as well, in order to safety this checker or make a point on 11. I honestly don't know what the answer is. That's why I'm doing this series with you guys. Robertie has not given an answer. So why don't we throw it to XG and see what XG has to say. In this case, Robertie definitely missed, or at least the editor of the book missed, because there is no answer given by Robertie. Let's check XG right now, and I'll be back with that analysis in just a second. Hi, and we're back with our XG analysis. As I said, Robertie did not give us a play. My personal play was 22 to 18, bar to 18, I should say. Let's see where XG puts us. And XG says bar to 22, forced, and then 24 to 20. Okay, so keeping everything in the back, slotting the 5 point, hoping you make it 2. Which is interesting to me. And the reason I didn't choose that is because I thought the duplicated 2s, I needed 2 to cover 11 and a 2 to cover 20, to cover the 20 point. So I specifically didn't choose that one, but clearly I think what Robertie's trying to say here, or at least what XG is trying to say, is that you don't really want to cover 11. You want to use the blot on 11 to make a point within 6 of of the 3 points. So to make the 9 or the 7 would be the right ones that you want to make. Anyway, so I got that wrong, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. You notice that the one I chose, what I ended up choosing, was bar 18, which seems okay for me at the time. Not great, but that's actually the worst of the minor equity loss. It's 6.3% equity loss. It's not a blunder, as you can see from these over here, but it is the worst choice of those. Making the bar point, as Robertie said, is actually a 4.5% equity loss, and slotting from 6 to 2 and putting it behind the 3 point is the third worst choice, but it's actually very close to the one I chose. So safetying the 6 checker, or safetying is not the right word, but putting it behind and kind of burying it a little bit is just about as bad as slotting the bar point here on 18. So you win some, you lose some. In this case, Robertie didn't even step up to the plate. I think his editor might have had a problem. I don't know if you guys have a later edition of the book. I'd love it if you comment down below and tell me whether or not the book in later editions, because this is the second printing, so they missed it in 2 printings. Tell me if later printings actually have a suggestion for 83. Thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this series. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of future videos as soon as I upload them. I'll be doing 1 a day to the end of the series. We finish the chapter with 84 starting tomorrow. Thanks very much.